hate in the same way that you hate, say, homework, or listening to some boring teacher drone on about what you must do for your homework, or watching a very, very long documentary on the history of homework. No. These monsters cannot stand the taste of grown-ups because they drink too much coffee and are filled with horrible thoughts like making you eat your vegetables, or emptying the bins, or these telephone bills are too high. No more transatlantic calls to the President of Peru for you. In all seriousness, at this point I feel a disclaimer to be appropriate. If you should find this story too scary, or if any grown-up should find it too rude, then by all means, please feel free to stop listening. Feed it to your goldfish with your leftovers if you like. But if you want to learn more about these monsters, you should, nay, you must continue to listen to this story. For this, you will learn, is one with tips and tricks on how to deal with these grotesque and sneaky creatures on the tiniest of off chances that you ever come across one. And if by the end of this book you are still with me in one piece, you might do me the favour of yelling for all to hear, "Monsters under the bed are real!" So, where to begin? Well, first, you need to get nice and comfy. Oh, and before you listen any further, just to be absolutely safe, I suggest that if you are in bed, please ensure that, like a roller coaster, your arms and your legs are tucked in nice and tight under your sheets and well away from the edge of the bed. This way, I would fully expect that you shall not suffer any gruesome or grisly interruptions while listening to this book. Well, we'll see. Are you ready? Excellent. Let's go! Chapter 2. This story is set many, many years ago, long before you were even born, when I was just a wee lad. How wee, you ask? Well, I'm afraid it's rude to ask grown-ups their age, so I suppose you'll never know precisely. Did electricity exist? Yes, just about. Did the internet exist? Only if you're asking about a strange type of fishing net. Were velvet blazers in fashion? Trick question. Velvet blazers are always in fashion, listener. Our story begins with Sam Shipwright, an 11-year-old girl who did not have much in common with the other girls in her school. In fact, she hated all things girly. She hated wearing dresses and loved fishing. She hated dolls and loved spitting. She enjoyed skipping, but only as part of her boxing training. She was tall for her age and had thick, black hair which stopped just above her shoulders. She nearly always wore jeans, grubby runners, and a trusted red hoodie. Sam's classmates considered her a strange child, although most people I know are a bit strange. Not that she was strange, rather she did not fit in with the crowd. You see, Sam answered to no one. She did not fall in with the popular girls and, in turn, with the rest of the pack. Sam kept herself to herself, and she was just fine with that, thank you very much. Sam's parents, too, kept to themselves, and they, too, answered to no one. They never had guests over to the house, they never answered the telephone, and they never answered the front door. A good life lesson right there. In many ways, Sam's life was perfection. Just her, her mum, and her dad. It was a very sad event that turned her life upside down and inside out. Sam's world changed forever when she was informed of her parents' tragic passing. It does not matter how it happened, listener. I shall spare you the details. All that you need to know right now is that Sam's life shattered into a million pieces that day. Although Sam could be described as a brave child, a tough child, this was a setback too great and she went even more inside herself. Sam had lived in Dublin, Ireland, with her parents. Maybe I should have told you this earlier, but in my defence, we are still very early on in this story. Plus, you never asked. So, let's not argue and just move on. Hers had been a wonderful home. There's no doubt about that. One with fancy red brick houses and cobbled tree-lined streets. One with ponds for paddle boating and tucked-away pubs for belly bloating. One with people named Bertram or Verity. You know the sort. Sam